Hello, Warriors. As we prepare to welcome more students and staff back onto campus, wanted to take this opportunity to provide a review and some new information regarding our health and safety procedures, as well as some flow of traffic patterns on campus and how students and staff will be checking in and leaving campus each day as well. So thank you for taking the opportunity to view this video, and let me share my screen so we can get started. All right, so again, welcome back. We're looking forward to having more of our students and staff on campus joining us back at Westlake High School. So a couple of the things, let's get started. A couple of things that we are going to review today, some general guidelines and expectations related to having students and staff back on campus, our entrance and exit expectations for students and staff, as well as our general and building specific traffic flow patterns. And we spent a lot of time developing these and working with these to ensure that we can maintain proper social distancing and different safety related measures with more people being on our campus. So first of all, general guidelines and expectations. First and foremost, everyone must wear a mask. The mask does need to cover nose and mouth at all times. So the only time a mask would not be on as if somebody was eating or drinking something. But whether you are inside, outside, in hallways, or in other areas, a mask must be worn at all times. And that includes from the time you get out of the vehicle, whether you're being dropped off for school, or if you drive yourself to school and you're getting out of your vehicle in the student parking lot or on one of the streets. The mask must be worn from that moment all the way until and through when you leave our campus and get back into that vehicle. Also, we encourage our students and staff to wash and clean your hands often. We do have multiple stations located throughout our campus, outside of the restrooms as well, that staff and students can use to help with that sanitation component. Also, social distancing. Obviously, we do not want gatherings. We have blocked off tables and other areas where people will gather and encourage and need everyone to stay 6 feet apart while on campus at all times. Also, if you are sick or experiencing symptoms of COVID, we do encourage and request that everybody with those symptoms or are feeling sick to stay home. Some entrance and exit expectations. So whenever we have students or staff or guests entering our campus at Westlake High School, active screening will be utilized. This active screening will include a temperature check, a visual wellness check, as well as questions about COVID-19 symptoms. You can see some of those symptoms listed here on the screen, including cough or fever, chills, muscle pain, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, sore throat, or a new loss of taste or smell. So those are the same active screening processes that we've been utilizing since August when we have staff, visitors, or students coming onto our campus. In addition, we are asking that all students have their WHS school ID and show that school ID upon entering. You can see our 9th and 10th grade ID card up on the top there. That's an example of what that looked like, and our 11th and 12th grade ID card on the bottom. Students would have received these ID cards during the orientation process back in August. When we're talking about entrance and exit onto our Westlake High School campus, there are 3 points of entry and exit that we will be utilizing and that all students, staff, and visitors will need to utilize as well. One of those is the north lot, which is up between buildings 3 and building 2. The other entrance and exit point would be our front of our school or the bridge area, and that leads right onto the heart of campus by building 4 and building 1. Or from our student parking lot. Our student parking lot is located off of Via Merida. So you can also drop off, or students that park in our student parking lot will have an entry point and exit point through that student parking lot path as well. And we're gonna go over those in more detail right now. For our north lot, there is an entrance there that is only for deliveries to our cafeteria, as well as some busing that comes in there, but no vehicle entrance at this point. That will be blocked off. This will be a curbside drop off only for students. And then student, staff, or visitors that are entering there, ask them to be on the right-hand side as they enter They will be screened at that point, and then when they exit, they will be exiting on that left-hand side to leave our campus from the north lot. The most common point of entrance and exit for a lot of our students, staff, and visitors is through our front entrance or the bridge area. Again, that parking lot, that front parking lot is for staff only. So we should not have vehicles coming in there to drop off students. That is a staff only. We do ask parents to utilize curbside drop off for our students as well off of Lakeview Canyon. When you are entering the bridge, you'll notice that there are yellow arrows that are pointed to help remind you. But again, the right-hand side is the entrance side. The left-hand side will be the exit side. Up in our student parking lot, again, you'll access the student parking lot from Via Merida. When you come in there, there's a curve from the upper to the lower portion of our student parking lot. That is where we would ask parents to drop off and do curbside drop off there. And again, following the same procedures as our north and front or bridge entrance and exit areas. The right-hand side will be utilized for our entrance side. The left-hand side is utilized for our exit side. And again, you can see arrows there helping to remind folks as well. So again, we've reviewed the three entrance and exit points being our north lot, our front or bridge area, as well as our student parking lot. Once our students, staff, and visitors have been checked and entered through those areas, this kind of gives you a map of our campus and some of the flow patterns. I know it can't be seen that clearly, but there are arrows painted throughout our campus to help as well. But again, we spent a lot of time developing this and helping to really ensure the flow of our students. And one example you can see here is in Building 1, second floor. We do have one area that will be utilized for entrance, that is by room 12K, and one exit area from that interior hallway, which is by room 12A. So I'm gonna go through in detail each of our buildings and floors to help with these entrance and exit into the different buildings and floors to help guide you through that process. And as a reminder, for some of our students and maybe some new information for new families and students, when you look on your schedule, you will see room numbers listed. For example, room 12F. And what that stands for is Building 1, Floor 2, Room F. So just based on the classroom number, you will know what building you're going to, what floor you're going to, and then what room you're going to on that floor. Also, Building 4, as a point of reference, is our only 3-story building. So if you're in a 42 class, that's Building 4, Floor 2. And then if you're in a 43, that's Building 4, Floor 3. The first floor of our Building 4 is our library. So that is kind of a unique building for us at Westlake High School. Before we get into specific buildings and floors, just did want to highlight a few things. Obviously can't go over every single arrow and direction throughout our campus in this video. However, there are yellow arrows painted throughout campus to help guide people. We really need students, staff, and visitors to follow these directional arrows to, again, help ensure our ongoing health and safety on campus, as well as any congestion points and things like that. So again, they are throughout campus and hopefully they can be utilized accordingly. So we'll start off with Building 1, Floor 2. The entrance for those interior classrooms will be by the restrooms and by room 12K. So that's where you'll enter that area. The exit will be by room 12A, and it's also by the elevator and the stairwell. The one stairwell on Building 1, that is an up-only stairway. So anybody wanting to access the second level of Building 1, we can use that stairway, again, as an up-only. Staff and students should not be going down that stairway. They will actually go around the building and exit by the Rose Garden area. Building 2, Floor 1, so a couple different things for this area. The entrance for our cafeteria will be on the amphitheater side. That is the side you'll utilize to enter the cafeteria or to use the restrooms in that area. The exit for our cafeteria area will be the double doors that go out to the service road. So that is the exit side for the cafeteria. Also, the hallway that is by our mural and by room 21N is a one-way direction only hallway. So students will enter that hallway by the mural, which is by room 21N, and then they will either go to those classrooms or they will exit the hallway, which will be down by room 21K. So again, because of that kind of congestion point, that will be a one direction only hallway. Building 2, floor 2, the entrance will be right by room 22B. So that classroom and that entrance, that's located by the building 3 stairway, which we'll talk about in a second. That is the area that you'll use to enter the hallway for building 2, floor 2. The exit will be by room 22E. Those are the double doors that open up out towards the hillside. And then once you exit those doors, you will continue exiting by taking the pathway over to the amphitheater. And then you can either continue over to 42 and 12, or you can go down the amphitheater stairs to access the first floor if you need to. Building 3, floors 1 and 2, these are unique because in these areas, we only have the one set of double doors. So we'll be utilizing those double doors as both entrance and exit areas. The entrance, just like at our different entry and exit points, will be on the right-hand side. So again, entrance on the right-hand side. The exits will be on the left-hand side. And again, we have arrows accordingly to help with that as well. Our stairway outside of room 31A, that is an up-only stairway. So if you need to access the second floor of either building 2 or building 3, you'll utilize that stairway as an up-only stairway in those areas. For building 4, again, like I mentioned before, our first floor is where our library is. There are traffic flow arrows in front of the library, again, throughout campus. Please follow those. And then in order to get to the second and third floors of building 4, students will be utilizing the stairway that's located outside the entrance of the library. That is an up-only stairway. And again, that is by the entrance of the library. Once you go up from the first floor on building 4 up to floor 2, you'll see again that stairway continues up to floor 3 for those students that need to get to the third floor of building 4. They'll utilize that stairway. The entrance for the interior classrooms on building 4, floor 2 is located between rooms 42A and 42B. Those are the double doors that open up towards the amphitheater area. So that's where the entrance will be for that area. The exit will be by rooms 42S and 42R. Those will be the exit. Those are the doors that open up towards the Rose Garden. So that will be our exit side for building 4, floor 2. For building 4, floor 3, the entrance will be by rooms 43A and 43B. Those are right by the stairway that you had just come up by the library side. So those are the double doors that open up towards the amphitheater area. On building 4, floor 3, we actually have 2 exit doors. One exit door is by 43W. When you exit those double doors, then you'll take a left and continue over to the stairways to go down. Another additional exit for building 4, floor 3 is by rooms 43N and 43P. So those are the double doors that will open up towards the Rose Garden in both of those cases. We do have some down-only stairways that we will be utilizing on campus. The one stairway from building 4, floor 3, it's by room 43S. That will take you down to the second floor. We also have the stairway from building 4, floor 3 down to the second floor by room 43P. So both of those stairways are down-only stairways. And then we do have a couple locations that we will primarily be utilized as a down stairway, but traffic can flow in both directions. And the one stairway on the top that you can see is the stairway that goes down into our Rose Garden. That is from building 4, floor 2 down to the first floor, as well as our amphitheater. So our amphitheater center aisle there is an up and down stairway as well for students. And again, there are arrows to signify these different flow patterns throughout campus. Some additional information to help. If a student is in PE, they will utilize the service road to access and go down to their PE classes. Again, you'll see the arrows, but students going down to PE or down to the gymnasium We would want to be walking on the right-hand side, and students exiting or coming up from the gymnasium would be on the left-hand side. Also, up in our student parking lot, there are typically two paths or student paths that students can use to get to campus. The one path that we spelled out before, which was at the top at the curve, that is actually the only one that we will be utilizing moving forward. The other student path that is down on the lower level is actually blocked off to access the campus because of the construction of our science building. So the only time that that path would be utilized would be for those student athletes that need to access our baseball or softball fields. That would not be utilized by general students trying to access campus, again, because that path is blocked off due to the construction of our science building. And then another area that in years past we've had open as an entrance and exit point would be by our tennis courts. However, because of the screening process and safety of our students, staff, and visitors, that access point will be closed at all times. So you'll see that those gates will remain closed, and students that had entered there but or exited there before should utilize the front or bridge entrance and exit. And again, so moving forward and continuing as we've been doing since for a long time now, we continue to look at, revise, and utilize our WHS COVID-19 mitigation plan, as well as our school district school opening and safety plan, our CVUSD reopening and COVID-19 mitigation plan, our CVUSD worksite specific COVID-19 prevention plan, as well as guidance from Ventura County Public Health, guidance from California Department of Public Health, and guidance from the Center of Disease Control. So again, the health and safety of our students, our staff, and our visitors is priority one. And we're confident in the plans that we have in place. All right, so with that, I will stop sharing. Again, I hope that this video answers some questions and gives some information regarding when we're coming back to campus and how that will look for our students and our staff and our visitors. We appreciate everybody's understanding, patience, and working with us to make this a positive experience for everybody. So again, hope this information was helpful and hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.